Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Marilyn Shannon, and this is the Breaking Free Show. And thank you all so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. It's an honor to have you. And I know that your time is precious. And so that when we bring you a show, we're bringing you the best. And so thank you for being here. And today is no exception. But before we get started, I want to say hi to Amnon.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Well, Amnon's been a
Nice day
busy
out
boy.
there.
Oh yeah, nice day. 60s? Oh
Yes, and
my
it's
God.
sunny.
And it's sunny and it's
Yes,
beautiful and
it's
it's
about
glow.
time.
It's about time because we have had some crazy weather. And I'm not as a busy boy over there keeping everything straight. So I want to thank you for that.
Sure.
So, like I said in my opening, we love to bring you the most interesting stories, people, places, ideas, philosophies, connections, anything that we can that shows you what the human race is really up to. Because if you listen to some of what's going on out there in the media, you wonder sometimes. But come here, because here we're going to show you what people really are up to and where people's hearts are really engaged. And today is that day. So today we're going to be talking to a whole group of people from the Hope Meadows community, which is in Illinois. And I'm going to say this, and it's hard for me to say, but it is an intergenerational community, and it's one of the first where they have seniors and foster families all living together, which I think is brilliant. And before I even knew this community existed, I've always thought, God, there's so much to learn from each other. And all kids really need is to be shown love. Because, in my opinion, everybody wants to be loved, hugged, and rubbed. And I swear that once you show that to a kid, their face lights up and their heart lights up. And all that you can imagine, all the good that happens, happens. And this community is 22 years old. People actually live there. And it's fabulous. So let me introduce to you first. We're going to introduce and we're going to talk first to a group of seniors that live there. And then we're going to bring on a family. And so let's get going. And remember, you can always call into the studio at 919-518-9773, or you can Skype in with us to Computers 2K Voice anytime you like from wherever you are in the world. And also, you can come in on our chat and ask questions and just make comments, and then we'll relay them back to our guests whenever necessary. So just if you see the little video, put your name, nickname, whatever you like over there, and you're welcome to ask questions. So today we're going to introduce to you Dorothy, and we have David, and we have Bill. So let me welcome you three to our show. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, and it's a delight to have you here. My face is beaming. Can you see? I love this whole idea. So I'm going to go down the line, and I'm going to ask you about you and where you come from and how you ended up at Hope Meadows. Okay? So let's start with Dorothy. All right? Ladies first. So Dorothy, where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Russell, Illinois.
Oh, you're from Illinois. And how long have you been at Hope Meadows?
14 years.
How many years?
14.
14 years. And what made you come to Hope Meadows?
I lost my husband, and my daughter and son-in-law found it over here, and but he's my administrator, so they wanted me to move here.
Ah, gotcha. And what is and do you have a particular role there?
Well, I used to work with the children, but as I got older, I got different jobs.
Uh-huh.
I cleaned the IGC one, and now then I'm only making coffee in the morning from 6 to 8 for seniors.
For and how many seniors are there? Do you know that live there?
There's quite a few. I'd have to count them.
Okay. But you're all like a family, I assume.
Yes,
Yes.
trying to be.
Okay, what'd you say? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
I said I'm trying to be.
You sounds like you are. I mean, I know that families can be identified in all kinds of ways, right? We have all kinds of ways of looking at family, but it sounds like what Hope Meadows is is a beautiful, big, extended family. So, and David, tell me about you. Where are you from?
Well, it's hard to tell. I spent a career in the military.
Yeah.
I was raised up in central Michigan, in Midland, and I've moved around a lot in my career in the Navy. Uh, so that's kind of the answer.
And what brought you to Hope Meadows?
I married a lady back at the turn of the century who had seen a talk show on Oprah about Hope Meadows, and she was really sold on it. When I retired, I thought I was going to uh, go down to Kentucky to a nonprofit group down there that works with young people or works with people up in the Appalachians. But she wanted to come here, and so we checked into it, and they sold me on coming here.
And how has it been for you?
Beyond belief, positively.
Uh-huh. Cool. I'm going to ask you some more questions, but before I do, I want to get to Bill. So, Bill, where are you from?
Originally Terre Haute, Indiana.
Indiana. And how long have you been at Hope Meadows?
I think this is my 9th year.
Oh. And what's your role there?
Originally, my main job is crossing guard, uh, which is one of the schools that's closest to our district. And in the evenings, sometimes I participate with the other seniors helping the kids do their homework and such.
I see. So, what does it mean for you, Bill, to be living there and helping with children?
Uh, it brings to mind when I was a youngster and the community that we lived in. You might want to say that we could leave. My parents, we could leave their back doors open and things like that. We're a real tight knit family group here. Um, I love everyone. I know everyone in the community, and it's beyond belief for me.
Beyond belief?
Yeah, I wouldn't have think after coming here, but before coming here, I wouldn't have thought that there was a place like this.
Mm. Must feel like paradise.
It's great.
It's great. And so, when before the show actually started, everyone, I had the opportunity to kind of sit here and chat with Dorothy, David, and Bill. And I asked Bill about his sweatshirt. And when he started telling me about his sweatshirt, I said, "Hold on. I want you to share this with all of you out there." And so, I don't know all the details about his sweatshirt, but I know it's going to be good. So, would you tell everyone about your sweatshirt?
Can you see it?
I can, well, how about, can you stand up a second? And just, okay, bend down a little bit. Oh, I see. It's got children's faces on it.
Yes.
Oh, it's
And
beautiful.
I
Oh,
used to hate to say it, but I used to say that this one of these children over here was raised right around the corner. It was her name was Rab. Melissa Rab was her name. She favors her so much, and but this shirt is on backwards. I wear it backwards because I think the community it's about the kids rather than a logo which is in the front of the shirt. So I wear my shirt on backwards. I like to project the kids rather than the logo. When I work at a place that's called Gardnerville, uh, people don't know what the logo is out there. They'll just keep going. But if they see these kids out on my shirt, they usually say, "What does that represent? Who are those kids? Where do you get that picture of those kids like that?" And it's I'm very proud to show this shirt.
oh, that's beautiful. Thank you very much for sharing it. I love it. I love the whole look of it. So thank you so much. And David, so do you work directly with the kids now?
No, I'm working pretty much in administrative kinds of activities here.
Mm. And you mentioned earlier when you were talking about yourself that way back you've been wanting to work with kids, that you had, maybe going into the Appalachian Trail or whatever. Well, why kids for you?
What else is there? I mean, if we can't help them to move along to a better life, it seems to me like we're just wasting our time.
So, do you have children, David,
7,
of your own?
yes.
Uh-huh. Are any of those adopted or foster children?
No, they're all some that happened when the Navy ship would come in and we would spend some time in Norfolk and my wife would be pregnant again.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I love that. Thank you. Good. Yeah, and you're right. What else is there besides our children, right?
That's
You
right.
know, and the kids who didn't grow up with a family, everybody gets to have a family, don't they?
Seems that way.
It should be that way, shouldn't
Yes.
it? Dorothy. So, what have you seen over the years that you've been there? Like, what have you seen as something that, when you think back to your time there and the children, can you share something that's just an a time that you remember that was just so wonderful?
Well, I enjoyed all of it, really. Of course, I raised 4 of my own children and 4 grandchildren, and I got gobs and gobs of grandchildren and great grandchildren. So I've enjoyed it.
You enjoy it. Uh-huh. And so, what has this meant to you, like in your life, Dorothy, as far as the way, I mean, like every day for you? What's it like?
Well, I enjoy it because I get up early in the morning, always have all my life, being a mother and working all the time. And I've really gotten the habit, I just wake up and I enjoy going over and cooking. I love to cook.
How many kids are there, Dorothy, right now in the community?
I'm really not sure because I don't work with the children anymore that much.
Mm. But you see them. You all live together. Can you describe how you live?
Well, it's a nice place. I enjoy living where I do, of course. I've got more room than I really need. I'm using it all, whether I need it or not.
Uh-huh. But
I've
you
enjoyed it all.
but you all live there, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And you have your own what, apartment or house?
Yes. I have 3 bedrooms, a bath, a kitchen, a living room, and a full basement.
And then do you all eat together as well?
No, not really. Whenever we have a potluck or something, yes, we all get together and eat. And each person takes something to share.
Mm-hmm.
She
Wonderful.
makes my favorite banana bread.
Say that again.
She makes my favorite banana bread every morning. Not every morning, but I can have it at least once or twice a week.
So where do you when you make coffee? Like, what is that? Is there a community house, a community room that everybody comes to and they can get coffee from you, or they come to your house? What do they do?
They come to what we call IGC 1, and it works with the children after school. I get up early, so I go and just make coffee and get donuts or whatever I can whip up for them to have to eat with their coffee. And I usually stay 2 hours, and then I clean it up.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great.
IGC, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We keep talking about IGC, and that's short for Intergenerational Center. It's our meeting room. We're on an old Air Force base, and I don't mean to be cutting in and cutting others out, but we've got the Air Force housing here that Hope Meadows has bought many years ago, and so that's where we live, and we're all adjacent to one another in this community.
I am glad you're butting in. So you butt in all you want, okay? Because you know. I mean, I'm looking for that information. I want to share that information with our audience. I want them to get a picture. Because one of the pictures that we shared in social media was in a kitchen where it looked like a group of people were cooking together.
It might have been Generation of One. It might
Uh,
have been.
say that
I,
again, Bill.
it might have been Generation One uh, cooking class or something. I didn't see the picture.
Hmm. Yeah. So tell me, where do you see your community going? What's the future for your community? Dorothy, you want to start?
Well, I don't know. Of course, I'm kind of a person who hangs to myself, always have. But I don't know. There's a lot of changes can be done that would improve, I think. But it's a slow process. I mean, we have wonderful people guiding us through stuff here, like especially like Hank. Got to give him some credit
Yeah.
in there somewhere.
Yeah, we're going to meet Hank in a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And he's the director.
Yes.
Okay. And he's been the director for a couple of years and he's doing great, I know.
Yes. Yes, he is.
So, um, David, what do you think? I mean, when you look at Hope Meadows and you look at the rest of the world, what do you think?
I think that there's some real visionaries that started this program, and then by them sharing their vision with the rest of us, they brought a bunch of elderly people here, as well as families who are willing to adopt young children. I'm sitting here looking over here across the room at some of these young children that we've made friends with, and the mom that we've also made friends with. And the reason that Carol and I are here, very honestly, is the fact that back in the old days when we were kids, you could go out, walk around the neighborhood, and talk to people by name, and they would address you also by name, and you could be friends with one another. Now I listen to the television, and there's this shooting in that community and another shooting in another community. Uh, Somehow or another, it strikes me that we just aren't relating to the young in our lives in a serious fashion, so that they're off doing all kinds of weird things that we never even thought of doing as youngsters. And we adults need to find some way to relate to them, to love them, and to convince them that that isn't quite the best way of doing it.
Well said. We have an obligation to these children, right?
I think so.
I think so. And our world depends on them. Our communities depend on them. You know, we you know, we owe them an education. We owe them a life. So well said. Bill, what do you have to add to that?
Well, that's what's going to rule the world, the next generation, and things like that. Um, Hope they understand this voting situation that's going on now.
The what
Uh,
situation? Say that again.
the voting situation.
Yes.
I hope they take their own consideration of what's going on and learn from it. We all seniors have made some kind of mistakes in our lives, though. But what we have learned, just pass it on to these kids in a positive way, so their lives won't be as hazardous or as struggling as ours have been.
Mhm. You
If
know,
I can add one other thing here as we're talking about this, we've described our community as intergenerational, and that's certainly truthful. But as you can see by your looking at your screen, we're also interracial, and it that's such an important thing in today's world. We've got to figure out that we love one another, regardless of whether our skin is white, black, or some other color. And start living that, not just talking about it in talk shows.
Mhm. Yep. I'm not has a sense of humor. You're right. We have, and you're a picture and depicting that, and m- more and more people need to know that these opportunities exist. One of my friends who is she's been a science teacher here in my neighborhood, saw me post about Hope Meadows, and she turned around, she said, "That's where I want to live." I swear she said that. And
Well,
so,
if we want her to come here and
yep.
live,
She's a teacher, and somebody else asked me where, somebody else where it was. I have a friend in California who saw it and wanted to know exactly where it was. And so, I mean, people just need to know. And shows like this, this is not like NBC or CBS or ABC, but people listen. People watch. This is our opportunity. We have the opportunity in this world to make a difference. Each of you, each of, me, we all, we are given an opportunity. We're given power to do this. We have to take the power, but we're given the opportunity. And I thank you for being here and for doing the work, because you didn't do the work to come on the show. You were doing the work anyway. You're reaching out to those kids and loving on them anyway. So I thank you for that. Dorothy, did you have anything to add to what these gentlemen have said?
No, not really. Well, and another thing, when I first moved in, I had food license, and the lady that was over here then put me over the kitchen, and then I lived here about 3 years, and they were up for take the test for to have them again, and I decided I was too old to do it, so I just dropped that out. So whoever wants to use the kitchen can whenever they want to.
Mhm. Sounds great. So I know we have a family that we want to bring on as well. And I would just ask you, the three of you, just to stay in the room too, because maybe at the end we can have everybody come in for like a family shot. Okay? So
Hey,
don't go anywhere. Is that all right?
did you mention? I noticed you mentioned Illinois, but did you mention the city is Rantoul, Illinois?
Yeah, I did in my post.
Okay,
But so thank you. So say it again. You're where?
Rantoul, Illinois.
Illinois. Perfect. And you would recommend this lifestyle to anybody, wouldn't you, Bill?
Yes, I would. Just come and visit and get your own feeling for it.
So if I come, can I stay at your house too? When you're gonna make and Dorothy's gonna make not Dorothy. Yeah, Dorothy's gonna make me banana bread, right?
She will. She will. I'll make sure she does.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I got one other thing to say too.
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Hank's favorite is deviled eggs.
Is what? What's his favorite?
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs. Wow. Do you make a good deviled egg?
Well, maybe I do because Hank says I do.
Then if he says you do, you must, right?
I guess.
I'm sure of it. So I thank you, three of you, very much for being here, but don't go too far. Stay close because I'm going to want to bring you back. Okay? I want to see your three beautiful faces again. Okay? All right. So let's have the Mickey family. All right. So we're going to have the Mickey family. We're going to have
Thank you.
Mickey Granger. I'm sorry. So it's the Granger family. We're going to have Mickey as the mom, and two children, Caleb and Mario, are going to join us. So hold on, because we're going to get into another aspect of Hope Meadows. I want to say Fresh Meadows. Oh, here's a whole big thing here. What is this? Okay, let me see. Carissa, maybe I missed the beginning, but there was, oh, yeah. 22 acres and 80 housing. Okay. Carissa is saying, which is great, while this family is getting settled, she wanted me to know, she's on the chat, that Hope Meadows is a community in Illinois where we live in 22 acres with 80 housing units whose purpose is to provide permanent adoptive families for foster children and teens. Seniors act as honorary grandparents and receive reduced rates for providing 6 hours of volunteer time a week. We're 20 years old, I think, and we are featured on Oprah, yes. And they've been on other NPR interviews as well. But we're delighted because we actually have a picture too, which is great. So let me welcome your beautiful family. How are you doing, Grangers?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to meet you three. So tell me something. Who's Caleb? All right. And Mario, you're in the middle?
Yes.
All right, good. Nice to meet you all. And nice to meet you too, Mickey.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So I read some of your story. So tell everybody about you.
Okay, so me and my husband, we have been married 20 years. We have 3 biological kids. We came here about 7 years ago with the intent of adopting 3 to 4 more children. We're working on our 4th adoption right now, currently, with a total of 7 kids now.
Wow. Big family, huh?
Family, yes.
So now I know you have a little girl too, right? Is she your youngest?
Um, our kids range in age from 19 down to 6.
Okay.
And we have 4 boys and 3 girls.
Okay. And the youngest is a girl?
No, the youngest is a boy.
Is a boy. Okay. Terrific. And so what have you found by being there?
I think that me and my husband, when we were we had just licensed in Indiana. We owned a home at that time. We'd been in our neighborhood for about 10 years. It was a small house, and if we had lived out that process and done things that way, we may have been able to adopt 1 child. Um, Certainly not the 4 that we have now. So what we were looking for and what appealed to us was the fact that we had a whole community supporting us. We had a big house that we could take in more children, and as Mr. David was saying, the fact that it's intergenerational, it's interracial, those were all big things that made it somewhere where we wanted to be.
Good. Oh, and I have more to ask you, but I want to say something to Caleb and Mario. I want to thank the two of you very, very much for being here and for being willing to talk about yourselves. That's a big deal. So I want to ask you first, Caleb, how old are you?
9.
9?
Yep.
Wow. And what about you, Mario, with that beautiful yellow sweatshirt? How old are you?
8.
8. So you two are really close, aren't you? Close in age, and your brothers. You're really close.
Yep.
Good. Okay. So how come, Caleb, how come you decided it was okay for you to come on and talk?
I don't know.
What do you like about living there?
It's fun.
What's fun about it?
You get to play a lot.
And how does it feel to be part of a big family?
Kind of good, but I don't get my own bedroom.
You don't get your own what?
Bedroom.
I'm sorry. Oh, bedroom. Oh, sorry. There were times, I have to tell you something, Caleb. There were times in my young little life where I had to share a room with my brother. So listen, it's okay. I grew up okay. Okay? But I did have to share a room with my brother. And I'll tell you something. When I was really little, and it was me and my brother and my parents, we lived in 1 bedroom in an apartment. Just 4 of us in 1 bedroom. So, how many people are in your bedroom? One other?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what's the favorite, besides playing, what else do you like about living at Hope Meadows?
The seniors.
What about the seniors?
They like to let us go to IGC. They let us do a lot of stuff.
Hmm. And how long have you been a Granger in this family?
My whole life.
Your whole life. Cool. It's wonderful having so many grandparents, isn't it? And
Kind
and everywhere you turn, somebody's like looking for you and cares about you, huh? Is that
Yeah.
nice?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. What about you, Mario? You know, my name is Marilyn Mario, and I have friends that call me Mario.
Mario?
Yeah, I don't know why. I never could understand it, but I got friends who call me Mario for some reason. Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
So tell me about you. What do you like about Hope Meadows?
Um, get to play on Mr. Joe's tablet every Monday.
You get to play on a tablet every Monday. That's great. What do so you all take turns?
Now, me, Caleb, Jeremiah, Wyatt play on tablets every Monday. Doriano,
Mhm.
Yellow, Danielle play on tablets every Wednesday.
Well, say that again about every Wednesday? I missed that.
Every Wednesday, what? Danielle and Bella play on tablets every Wednesday.
Okay. And so how long have you been in the family?
For like
Your whole life?
since I was 4.
Since you were born. Wow. That's great. So Mickey,
Yeah.
so I can only imagine. I mean, I'm a mother. I have two of my own daughters, and I have three stepchildren.
Okay.
And actually, my youngest stepson is 20, is African American. My husband adopted him um, when his ex-wife separated. Whatever, he adopted a child she had, and so we and I'm Jewish also, so we'd say we celebrate Chrisana Wanza in our house. So and it's wonderful, and it's been a long time, and it's been fabulous. I always wanted to adopt my entire life. When I was younger, I thought, oh, maybe from here, maybe and it just happened. I just always wanted, and just happened. So what's it been like for you? I guess living in a community like this is it's so like all like so many things are taken care of so that you can do what you do best, and that's love.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's absolutely right. There's lots of times that I could have one of my children in crisis or something, and I make a quick phone call to one of the seniors here and ask for help or ask them to come get the other kids, or um, we have doctor's appointments that we're juggling between 7 kids and 2 parents. It could be just a whole bunch of things that we get assistance for on almost a daily basis.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And so when you look at Hope Mills and you see the world, what's your message to the world?
I always say, that I don't mind that we stand out in a crowd, and I don't mind people to ask us about our family. I kind of welcome that. It gives me that platform. It gives me that opportunity to share not just about our own family and about adoption, but about Hope Meadows and our community, because it there really isn't anything else like this out there. Um, I I just can't even put into words because it's to know your neighbors. Where we lived before, we lived there for 10 years, and I couldn't tell you who my neighbors were, other than just waving at them, across the driveway or whatever. I know everyone here. I know that if my kids are out in the neighborhood, I might not always have eyes on them, but somebody does. And if they're not doing
So
what
you don't worry about the same kinds of things. Like I have a 4-year-old grandson, and I mean, like where your eyes are always peeled.
right, right.
You don't even think about. Do you have your own police?
We have our own basketball court and our own park, and at times we've had basketball committees and park committees to kind of oversee what's happening with the kids and make sure everybody's being safe. But outside of just just being neighborly. I think it really is like a family. And, there's about 30 plus kids here. They all treat each other like they're, extended family, like cousins. And so there's never, um, I know where my kids are going to be. I know whose houses they're going to be at. I know whose backyard they might be playing in. And I know it's a text or a phone call away if I can't see them.
So I guess another question I have is from your perspective, for these kids, and but they don't go to a community school, they go to a regular school, right?
There is a public school here. There's also a therapeutic school in town. Um, these two are homeschooled. Um, Two of mine are in the regular public school, and one was attending the therapeutic day school.
Mhm. So as far as going out in the real world,
Hmm.
I mean, I wish the real world. I mean, this is.
Sure.
I believe in this kind of living. I believe that that it's up to all of us.
Yes.
I say to re-enchant the planet. That the planet's already enchanted,
Yes.
and we get to re-enchant it. And when we do, we'll have a Hope Meadows every place. We'll be loving each other. All those things. So,
Yes.
are you concerned at all about what happens when your children grow up and they go into the real world?
I am sometimes, but I'll tell you this. I feel like that as parents, we've instilled a lot of confidence in our kids and in their life story, and in just being openly talking about their adoptions, and what kind of family we are. I think hope um, also builds up their confidence that everybody here is kind of dealing with the same situations, and everyone is so understanding of one another. And when my kids do go to school and people confront them and ask them questions like, "How can that be your mom?" Uh, they give very confident answers, like, "I'm adopted." Like they say it like, "Well, you have a third eyeball or something." Like, "I'm
Mhm.
adopted, silly. That's just what it is."
Right. That's great. That's good. I think they probably going to have enough confidence that they'll handle pretty much anything
I
because
think
they'll
I think so.
they'll have a really good base, and they'll feel. My guess is that they're going to feel, they're going to have a good root.
Yes. Yes.
So good for you for what made you do this? I mean, I know what you said, but I mean, like, really and truly deep down inside, what made you do this?
I myself was a foster child from the age of 15 till I aged out of the system at 18. That's a long time to go without a family. And that's a hard thing to recover from and to be whole. And it sparked something in me to want to be the change that I wanted to see out there. I guess that would be the biggest thing. And we did have an experience where our nephew was about to go into foster care,
Right.
uh, and we opened up our home to him, and he lived with us for about a year. And uh, we've seen so many changes in him during that year for the positive that both me and my husband just became convinced that
Mm-hmm.
this was our
Mm-hmm.
mission. This is what we were supposed to
Right.
be doing.
When my stepsons were when I first got together with their dad, they were young, much younger. They were like 4 and 6 or something, and I would go to kiss them, and they would run away. And I
Okay.
always tell people I would keep running after them and kiss them, and run again, and I would chase them until eventually, now my sons are 20 and 25, and they don't run anymore. In fact, they like expect the kiss. Right?
Good.
So it's all about love. So,
Yeah.
Caleb, I want to ask you something, honey. It, Now, what would you tell, like, the world about your life? Is there something special you would say about your life that you would want the world to know?
No.
Nothing at all? Like, nothing at all about being with your mom? How special is she?
pretty special.
In what way is your mom special?
She takes us a lot of places. She works for us, get us money,
That's
and
beautiful. And what?
that's mostly it.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Thank you for sharing that. What about you, Mario? What do you think?
Same as Caleb.
Talk a little louder, honey.
The same as Caleb.
Is there anything you would add to that?
No.
Okay. Well, that's 2 out of 2. Ain't bad. Is your husband still running?
What?
Isn't your
Oh,
husband the
it's running?
jogger?
Oh, we're really working on that.
Yeah.
We're really working on getting back to racing again.
Good. Well, wish him well for me.
I will. I
Okay.
will.
Is there anything you want to say in closing?
Just thank you for having us on, and yeah, this is a cool experience.
Good. And maybe we can do this again and catch up.
Yes,
Wouldn't that be
yes.
nice? We
That
could
would
do
be
a,
nice.
yeah, this could be a part 1, and then we'll come back and do a part 2 and let everybody see where everybody is.
Sure, sure.
Okay? All right. So let me have Hank now, and don't go too far, because I want a family shot with everybody, the seniors and you. So Caleb, Mario, mwah! What? Kiss me. Give me a kiss. Hold on. No, come on. Mario, can you throw me a kiss? Wow, you're a sweet. You have a sweet smell. Okay, thank you. That's adorable. Thank you. Oh, that was perfect. Thank you so much. Hank, you're on the seat.
Okay.
So now Hank he's like the daddy of everything. He is the executive director, right? That's your title?
Yes.
And he likes deviled eggs and her bread, right?
Right. And I never thought of myself as daddy, but I'll have to take on that role.
But I know you have a warm heart. So tell me, where did you come from into all of this?
Oh well, I'm originally from Chicago. I've lived in Rantoul for probably close to 40 years now. I became involved with this organization. I knew about it since its beginning back in 1994, and I was acquainted and peripherally involved. I didn't really get involved with the organization intensely until I was asked to serve on the board of directors, and that's what led me to this position.
So what is it about this community for you?
Well, I mean, as David said earlier, this used to be the site of an Air Force base named Chanute Air Force Base. A lot of people, middle-aged or above, may have been stationed here over the years. In my case, I came here by way of the Air Force, and I decided to stay here. And then when the Air Force Base closed, we as residents were all looking forward to, well, what's the future going to be? In this place, Hope Meadows was one of the first new and innovative ideas that cropped up within months of when the base had closed. So it's an important part of our community that kind of demonstrates and proves that we can we can reinvent ourselves, and there is a future to a community that had historically been a military community.
And what's your dream for this community and for the world?
Well, I would like to see this community. I guess I'm more focused on the practical. It is 50 to 60-year-old surplus military infrastructure. So my dream is to really be able to renovate 60-year-old housing in the way that the people live here deserve. There's a kind of a legend around here that the Air Force may have mixed up the plans, and we got the plans for the base in California, and that's why we have carports instead of garages. I don't know if that's true, but I mean, my dream would be able to provide the infrastructure here that is really needed in the Midwest, including garages.
Sure. So altogether, how many people live there?
I think there's about 88 at last count of all ages.
And how many children?
22 to 23, I just looked at that maybe a week or so ago. Those children range in age from 1 to 19 and 20 on the verge of adulthood. Some of those older ones are actually living here on their own, as very much like the seniors do. They're grown young adults working and contributing to the community. Two of them, in fact, grew up in foster care, were adopted, and they're living here as roommates.
And so, how many children in the history have you served?
Oh, I think all total history, I know that there were some, I think 30 to 40 were the total adopted as the agency when we were actually a foster agency, an adoption agency. And then another, I think, maybe as many as 20 that had been adopted before living here. So I'm going to say 40 to 50 over 21 and a half, close to 22 years now.
Terrific. So, how do people get involved with Hope Meadows? How would you like to see them get involved?
You mean people who are interested in
People
coming?
who are interested in coming, donating money. What are the levels of involvement?
Oh, well certainly I like certainly appreciate the mention of donations. On our website, hopemeadows.org, there's multiple means of donating, from credit card and check to PayPal to a good old-fashioned check in the mail. We even offer Bitcoin. And for those people who shop on Amazon, we're affiliated with Amazon Smile. So if you're shopping on Amazon anyway, if you do it through Amazon Smile, it doesn't cost the consumer anymore, and we get a significant donation out of those orders. To join us, what we're very interested in is people joining us if they're inclined to want to live here. And I realize that may vary around the country, but some of our most recent arrivals as seniors came from as far apart as Connecticut and California. What we do in that case is we do have a pretty extensive application because one of the things that's very important to us is to make sure that we're a child-friendly community. So we do take our time in reviewing applications. In fact, everyone that's over 18 here has been fingerprinted to ensure that there's completely no risk to children within the neighborhood. We also welcome visitors. No one mentioned earlier, we do have a model home, and we can actually put people up for a night or two if they just like to visit and see the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be me. I'm going to come one day.
And you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
I wanted to invite you. You could stay at the model home, unless whoever was sitting here agrees to have you over at their place. I forgot who that was.
Everybody.
I do want to mention, it is really hard to keep track of these people. Dorothy had to leave for an appointment, so I got everybody else corralled. But
okay, good.
They're busy people.
Good. And Clarissa is
Yes.
on our chat. Clarissa, and she says she does arts and crafts with the children. She's on
Yes,
the
she does. She had left the message this morning, and I guess she got it. I said, Clarissa, it's going to be on live at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and she followed up on my link.
And yes, she said she does arts and crafts. She said that things are not assigned. It's kind of like what you feel like you want to do is what you do. Is that right?
Yes, that's absolutely right. We want people to do what they enjoy. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a variety of talents and interests and gifts, and even if somebody wants to try something that they maybe haven't done before, we encourage that.
Yeah, that's perfect. And she said I get more than I give.
Well, that's kind of her, and I think a lot of people have said that in similar things. That it is hard to capture the many things that the individuals do here. Mr. Bill earlier had said he's the school crossing guard, but he didn't mention he was delivering newsletters door to door this morning in the rain, or half a dozen other things he does during the day.
Thank you.
What did he say?
I said thanks.
He said thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. It's so interesting too because, these things are not ego. These things don't come from your ego. You don't deliver newsletters because it's from your ego. Everything these people are doing, they're doing for the love of children. They're doing it for the love of families. It's so obvious to me that.
And I think they're doing it because they want to be part of a community that truly helps each other out, and they live that.
Exactly. So tell me, where do you want to take in your as executive director, where do you want to take? I know you said housing. What else?
Well, I should say that I would like to, I'm going to say this cautiously. I want to say I want to grow the staff, but that sounds like some kind of fiefdom. At present, I'm losing a very valuable employee for a better employer. So as of next week, there's going to be, I'm going to have one whole person on staff besides myself, and that'll be our maintenance man. So I do need to think about filling a position over the course of the next several months. I've been blessed with interns like Marissa, who helped who did the background work on us being ready here, as well as another one. So I depend on interns exclusively to do all the things that we've historically done. There had been a larger staff in years past, but due to significant changes in foster care and funding, we've been cut pretty short. So it's really, I guess my goal is to get to that point where I can maybe relax a little bit and knock a few things off my overwhelming test
It's
list.
a lot. So so you're looking for seniors. Are you also looking for families and children?
Yes, we are.
Uh-huh.
In terms of residents, we do have a pretty good opportunity for both retirees, seniors, and families or single parents who are involved with or perhaps have been involved with foster care or adoption, including those children who may have or may be aging out of foster care and would like to live in a similar or familiar community of like-minded individuals. I think that's what's unique about us is the question that Mickey described earlier about that the kids may get at school. You don't hear those kind of questions in the neighborhood here. I mean, everyone accepts each other, and I think that new additions, I think, are easily welcomed because, you don't, we're used to a broad spectrum of people with different backgrounds and different interests.
You know, it's interesting because I'm a very quite an open-minded, open-hearted person, and I come from where I come from. Now I can imagine a utopia, kind of like what you're talking about on some level, and so you got to kind of grab hold and say, "Oh my God, that is possible," and there are people who are really living like that. Other than where many of us come from. So let me ask you something about a discipline. Do you ever have any problems with the kids that are there?
Not substantially in my nearly 2 years of being here. Most parents, uh, most of the parents here have, through their various license providers, an opportunity for training. And I did manage to introduce some additional training this last summer. They're all geared toward healthy ways of addressing the inevitable conflict that happens in families and with
Like
children.
what? Like, give us a quick example of what that would look like.
Well, one of the things we did this last summer was something that you'll be familiar with in terms of mediation. You probably know about circle mediation in the process of giving everyone a voice and, in summary, paraphrasing and acknowledging what a person said and what's important to them. And in the process, you tend to develop a lot more empathy.
Well, I'm a talking stick person.
Right, exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's you have to have a talking stick in the
Yeah.
circle, right?
Yeah. I'm a talking stick person. I personally believe I'm a listening person. That's my thing. And I really believe that the world can heal if we just use talking sticks.
Precisely. And we're going to be implementing them here.
Really? Well, I would love to come.
Perhaps you come and join us.
Yes, I would love that. I think that's fabulous. Talking sticks are terrific. Is there any other thing that you're doing? Because, somebody mentioned something to me on Facebook about the issues that, children have when they're being adopted or they're foster children. They come from, different kind of backgrounds. But I believe that once they feel the love, things shift easier than people can even imagine. So, is there something else that you do?
Well, I will mention on that note that I've been here long enough to see more than one child join a family, and I see a positive difference within a matter of months, where just in terms of, I see a visible difference, and I think it's the result of both family and a peer group where new additions, particularly children, feel as if they may have a place as opposed to a more regimented process. I would be remiss too if I didn't mention one other need that I should have probably mentioned first, and that is our deceased ash trees. You're probably familiar with the emerald ash border, where you are. We have like 30 very mature and very deceased ash trees throughout our property, and that's something that's another need.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Oh, the emerald ash borer, it's a little bug that infests ash trees across the southern and eastern United States and even throughout the Midwest. But they decimate big, nice trees, and they deteriorate, and that is probably the number one source of anxiety for many of our residents is the number of big deceased trees that they're afraid of branches falling and things like that. That's on my more immediate list of trying to secure the funding to do something with those things.
Wow. But you do events and things for funding as well?
Yes, we do. We do routine fundraisers. I'm trying to think of the next upcoming one. Well, that's today, as a matter of fact. Thank you. Thank you. That's why you may have seen on our social media. Today is what's called a community day at one of our local pizza chains. 20% of what people purchase are donated back to the organization. There is a meeting of our fundraising committee, which is comprised of seniors, in the morning after tomorrow. Again, I pursue grants all the time. We're not operating under any state or federal grants, but I have been pursuing regional special purpose grants. I'm fortunately going to be able to do some significant energy improvements to the homes of many of the seniors here. But I still, those trees are elusive. I don't seem to get a lot of hits on what I can possibly do to conquer as many as 30 trees at the individual.
So let me just ask you, Hank, really quick. So people come in there and they buy their home, they rent their home,
No, they rent their home.
they rent their home like they would any place.
Yes.
And is there a membership fee to be part of the community?
No, there's not. I should, in a brief overview. Again, think back to military housing, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, where you have, two families living next to each other. We have, 50 or 60 of those buildings that, in which some of which were converted to really big family homes. Like Mickey and her family live in a 3,000 square foot home. Most seniors and most individuals live in a 3-bedroom home like Dorothy described.
Okay.
3 bedrooms, a half or full basement, and all of them pay rent we try to keep below market because we do expect people to become engaged. The only commitment they make, besides the normal one does when one signs a lease, is that they agree to participate and become engaged in community life through volunteer work, through showing up, through participating. Most people have their own residence, but there are at least 4 times a month group meals, be they coffee or potlucks or special occasion meals. So there's a lot of interaction.
So there's a lot of interaction.
Daily basis.
All right. Well, let's bring everybody back onto the set, so to speak.
Okay, should I go back behind the couch? And
Yeah, you can sit there. It's all right. You can stay right there. Everybody, come on.
Come on, gang, come
Come
join
on,
me.
everybody. The whole family. Everybody. And you can push the computer away a little bit. Yeah.
Come on, you guys, sit down
There we
here.
go. Yeah, everybody sit down. Okay, and the guys in the back, Dave and Bill, how about kneeling a little? There we go. There we go. And then Dorothy left, right? So we have everybody.
David, are you okay kneeling?
Marissa, you want to come out and say hello too?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Now, you don't see many 70-year-olds that can kneel behind the couch.
No, man. I guess he's staying young because he's around all these kids too.
I do notice that on a daily basis. The people here walk with a lot more purpose than one might think.
I think so. And getting out of bed every morning like that is fabulous. So let me just ask you really quick. Just another word, Mickey. Anything about about your life there? Anything you want to leave our audience with?
I would just say that I'm really happy to be here. The community has changed over the last couple of years, but what is important and integral to our family has remained the same, and we love our neighbors and our community, and we love what's offered for our kids.
Thank you.
What a
What-
great,
Yeah, Bill.
what a great family.
Perfect. And what about you, David?
We're happy we're here. Just love it.
Thank God for that. Caleb, anything for you, honey?
No,
Spring?
kind
What'd you
Sup?
say? Okay.
Spring to shoot my bow and arrow.
What'd you say? I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Spring so I can shoot my bow and arrow.
All right. What about you, Mario? Any final words?
Somewhere to play in the water.
All right. Hank, anything for you?
Like I said, I'm really looking forward to the spring because that's the time when in fact, that's the time when I can invite people like yourself to visit, and we can just walk down the sidewalk and you'll meet a number of people and get the full impact of being here.
I will be there. I promise. I will be there. And I want to thank you. Yeah. What were you going to say?
We look forward to that.
I'm coming. And I thank you very much for bringing us into your life today.
And thank you for having us.
It's been an honor. I know we've been working on this a long time, and I thank Chris for helping to coordinate it, Marissa, and all of you there. Give all of you, even everybody who wasn't here today, give them my love, will you?
I will, and feel free to do this again now that we're prepped. I think I got a team that'll be ready for
All
it.
right, good. We will do this again, and we'll get a little bit more into things. Okay? Maybe you can take us for a walk around the neighborhood.
Oh, I'd love to do that. That's an idea I have for some students. for
Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a phone or something and just kind of walk me around the neighborhood. All right? All right. Everyone out there, and I know that there is a, Carissa has been on the chat sharing all kinds of juicy stuff with us about Hope Meadows, so I want to thank her for being here too. And all of you out there, thank you so much for joining with us today on this extraordinary journey with this community. I mean, so it is possible. It is possible to have a community like this. What were we going to say, Hank?
It happens every day here.
Happen, and they've been doing this for 22 years. Not just a day, not a year, 22. So it's possible. That's extraordinary. So get to their website, look at them on Twitter, and let's help them. See you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, My Life, My Will with Gisela DiCarlo, The Tanya Love Show, Health Then with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Triangle Be Well with Howard Jacobson, Lunch and Learn with Rabbi Yisrael Cutler, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, Parent Dome with Ryan Miller, Current Affairs with Amnon Nissan. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.